Lyrics from Evita couldn't ring more true today. In celebration of Evita's 100th birthday, 100 Argentine women dressed as the former First Lady, they took to the streets of Buenos Aires. These Evitas used the occasion to drum up support for former Argentine President Cristina Fernandez ahead of elections later this year. Evita's figure is still very much alive in Argentina politics 6 decades after she died of cancer at the age of 33. She was married to a former President General Juan Perón. Evita is adorned by many Argentines for helping women get the vote, securing labor benefits for the working class, and in hospitals and orphanages. Also, in honor of her 100th birthday, the house where she spent her childhood has been open to the public. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, Republican lawmakers are defending a package of anti-abortion bills before the Assembly Health Committee. How Democrats are responding.
A former bus driver in Partyville is charged with sexually assaulting girls while he was a bus driver. What the school district is saying.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone. A former bus driver for the Partyville School District is facing sexual assault charges.
Prosecutors say he inappropriately touched young girls while working as a bus driver. Jamie Perez has details from the criminal complaint, and she joins us now with this new information. Jamie.
So this is the man that's being charged, 74-year-old Gary Dean Edwards, charged with 2 counts of sexual assault. The first incident was reported to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office back in 2017. The school district said they told police about the girls concerned then, but police found no substantial evidence that those allegations made then were true. This came up again in January of this year when 2 different girls filed complaints with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. The criminal complaint says Edwards would put his arms around the girls, let them sit in his lap, and touch around their private areas. When asked about these allegations, Edward told detectives his hands may have slipped. The school district contracts with Smith's Bus Services. That company is in charge of hiring and firing its employees. The bus company declined to make a comment to us today, but the superintendent said, as far as he knows, there was no substantial evidence found in 2017 that the allegations were true, and only found out about the more recent incidents from reading about it in the newspaper.
A mother complained in 2017 about a situation. We've referred that to the Sheriff's Department. They investigated it and said that there was no basis for the complaint.
Well, no one from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office was able to comment on this today. Edwards is scheduled for this next court hearing on June 25th. If convicted, he faces a maximum of 120 years in prison.
And Jamie Perez reporting. Jamie, thank you.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Dana Fulton is out on the weather patio. Dana?
Right now we have sunshine in Madison, a nice treat after a few clouds earlier this morning. In fact, we have sunshine for many areas of southern Wisconsin. Some areas, though, still dealing with a little bit of cloud coverage. Here's a look at Platteville, a few thin, very high clouds with our Queen Bee radio sky cam, but also getting some sun for this evening. Looking at our visible cloud track, notice the clouds this morning have really shifted southeast in northern Illinois and even into Iowa. Right now, we're dealing with a mostly cloudy sky. That's going to start to build in for us overnight. So the rest of your evening should actually be pretty quiet. Our Doppler track quiet as well. We don't have any immediate threats for showers, but along with the cloud coverage to the southwest, we also have some showers developing to the southwest. So plan on keeping the umbrella handy heading into your Wednesday morning. It's currently 57 in Madison, about 61 though in Mineral Point, 59 at Platteville. Really not too bad of an evening. Just a little cooler than where we should be at for this time of year. Our breeze coming from the northeast, about 10 miles per hour in Madison, helping that cooler air to just kind of funnel in for us today. Temperatures will stay much cooler heading into tomorrow, so please enjoy this evening and the sunshine. Temps will fall through the 50s. By 8 o'clock, we're at about 53. At 10 o'clock, we're closer to 49. And we will not be climbing out of the 40s as we head through your Wednesday and Thursday. But we'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the next few days and the rain on the way in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, thank you. A developing story out of Colorado as authorities say 2 suspects are in custody following a shooting at a suburban Denver school that injured multiple students. The Douglas County Sheriff's Department says at least 7 people were shot at STEM School Highlands Ranch. It's a public charter school with more than 1,800 students K through 12. It's near a Sheriff's Department substation, and authorities responded quickly and in force to the shooting. Students are being taken from the school to be reunited with their parents.
A Madison man who crashed a car on the city's west side Sunday morning is facing a repeat drunk driving charge. Madison police say 34-year-old Seth Collins crashed his vehicle on Junction Road at Harbortown Drive. Police say there were 2 children under 16 in the vehicle when it rolled. When the car came to a rest, the man and children ran from the scene but were quickly located by officers. Collins told police he had fallen asleep behind the wheel. He was arrested on suspicion of 4th offense operating while impaired with passengers under 16. Police say there were no other injuries. A Janesville man faces a $5,000 cash bond after allegedly killing a man while drunk driving the wrong way on Highway 14. Thomas Bloom was in Rock County Court today. A criminal complaint says he had a blood alcohol content of .165 at the time of the crash, and the passenger in his vehicle was confirmed dead at the scene. The driver of the other vehicle in the accident was also taken to the hospital with injuries. Bloom now faces charges of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. Republican lawmakers are defending a series of anti-abortion bills.
But they face little chance of clearing Democratic Governor Tony Evers. Rose Schmidt joins us live from the state capitol to explain. Rose?
Yes, well, Democratic Governor Tony Evers has already promised to veto the proposal being dubbed as the Born Alive bill. But Republicans are hoping to use that bill and others to rally their conservative bases heading into the 2020 election.
It's really disappointing that we have to be here today to talk about this issue.
Republican leaders are asking the Assembly Health Committee to pass the high-profile Born Alive bill, under which doctors could face life in prison if they don't provide medical care to babies born alive after a failed abortion attempt.
Not providing the care that baby deserves would be illegal, and taking that baby's life would be murder.
Now, it's unclear whether this has ever happened in Wisconsin because state health officials say they don't keep track of such incidents.
I don't think neither I or Senator Roth are up here saying that this happens routinely here in Wisconsin or anywhere else. However, the evidence is clear that it does occur.
Infanticide is illegal. Abortion is already banned at 20 weeks in our state. These situations are simply not happening.
Planned Parenthood and Democratic lawmakers call this proposal redundant and unneeded. Another proposal on the table would effectively cut off Medicaid funding for Planned Parenthood.
The services being covered by Medicaid are not abortion. We're talking about preventative care, annual exams, cancer screenings.
As Republicans vow to protect life, the other GOP proposals would prohibit abortions based on sex, race, and a potential diagnosis of Down syndrome or other disabilities, as well as requiring the state to ask a woman why she's getting an abortion and how many abortions she's had.
These bills are being introduced right now to distract from Governor Evers' budget, and in particular, the incredibly popular health care provisions in that budget.
The Assembly's Health Committee is scheduled to take a vote on these abortion bills on Thursday, and that would then clear the way for the full Assembly to take them up. Back to you.
Rose Schmidt live at the state capitol. Rose, thank you. Milwaukee police continue the search for a homicide suspect after they fatally shot another armed man. Police say undercover officers were surveilling a car this morning based on information they received about a homicide suspect, Victor Cintrone. Police say that's when officers in their car were approached by 2 people, including an armed man wearing a mask. Officers shot the masked man, and the second suspect ran away before being apprehended.
We're looking for a suspect in a homicide identified as Victor Cintrone. We believe that he did have a residence or was hiding in one of the residences on that block. The investigation is ongoing. We do not know if these 2 individuals were connected to him or not. We will have that information at a later time to see if both incidents are connected or not.
Police say Cintrone is suspected of a homicide that happened on Friday. An Oshkosh bar goes up in flames during an early morning fire. Firefighters responded to Mabel Murphy's bar around 1:45 this morning, but couldn't save the building. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the fire, but believe it might have started in a neighboring apartment building. All residents got out safely.
The Milwaukee family is fighting to stop their grandfather's deportation after a routine traffic stop. Raimundo Martinez Moreno was stopped by police for driving without a license. He told reporters that he is a good man and he's fighting for a good cause and that he doesn't want to be deported. His grandson said when he heard they were trying to take his grandfather away from him and his family, his heart was broken.
Lo amábamos mucho.
I love him a lot.
Para mí era mi mejor abuelito.
He's my best granddad.
Y así que yo me siento muy mal y yo no quiero que se lo lleven.
I feel really bad and I don't want them to take him.
There's an online petition that will be going to an immigration judge to fight Martinez Moreno's deportation.
Christina Olstad has been named the new Dean of Students at UW-Madison. Olstad currently serves as Interim Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs, Housing, and Residence at Towson University in Maryland. Olstad will oversee the Dean of Students office, the Office of Student Conduct and Community Standards, the Center for the First Year Experience, and the Associated Students of Madison staff and programs. She will start July 1st.
Our latest Time for Kids effort celebrates what makes you uniquely you. And today, we're welcoming some special guests who make sure that message is getting through to our children.
Our Danica Lewis is live at our BU Ambassador launch here at the station. Danica?
Hi there, Susan. Hi, Eric. Now I am joined by a very special guest this hour, this one being one of our own, Chris Reese. Thanks for sticking around a little longer.
Oh, my pleasure. It's a good thing to be here, especially for what we're doing today.
That's exactly right. And I want to be the one to present you with the BU kit. And Chris, if you don't know, is very active in the youth group over at Blackhawk, which is why we asked him to be an ambassador. And I'm going to let you look through that while we kind of explain what's going on here. Is that all right?
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Excellent. So all of our BU ambassadors are going to get a kit just like that one. And it's filled with materials that will hopefully help them spread this message. And guess what? They're already doing this already. Let's take, for example, Michelle Jensen. She is the principal over at Prairie View Middle School in Sun Prairie. And when the entire year started, they decided, the staff over there, to focus on the theme, this is me, this is we, this is us. You are seeing video from the Kindness Week that they put on for the hundreds of 6th and 7th graders there. And at its core, Jensen says this message is about kids surrounding themselves with friends who build them up, not tear them down.
If we can't reach our students and figure out who they want to be as people and get to know them as real people, then it's hard for the learning to happen. So they're hand in hand, and we spend a lot of time on both.
Prairie View middle schoolers also wrote down some ideas of maintaining the PV way, the Prairie View way as they put it, and those Post-its are on permanent display in the cafeteria in case they need a bit of a reminder. So again, we are welcoming all of these ambassadors. The BU Ambassadors is a brand new program that we've started. We have about 35 of them, and Chris, I gotta know, within the kit, what's your favorite part here?
All right, so there was a lot of fun stuff in the kit. I looked around, but I have to say the winners for me, it's the backpack. It has the BU on it. It has the News 3 Now logo on it, the SMN Health. This is definitely my winner, but there's plenty of stuff in there.
Yeah. He's going to be wearing this, sporting this around, you know, all over the station now, which is good
I'm
stuff.
sure. This is going to be my new work backpack. All my lunch is going to be in here. I'm going to bring it in. It's going to be a great time.
I can't wait to reveal what comes out of that later on, his whole life there. But Chris, we appreciate you being a part of this. And please share your BU stories with us online. We want to share them as well. But for now, I'll send it back to you, Eric and Susan.
Such a great message, so important. And goodie bags are always ahead.
We love them.
Yeah, we love them. Thank you, Danica and Chris. There's more to come tonight on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, graduation is happening this weekend. We'll share a story of one man's journey to become a doctor.
And tariff worries send the markets into a free fall today. The Dow off 473 points. NASDAQ down almost 160. S&P 500 loses 48. We'll be right back. At the UW spring commencement this week, there will be thousands of stories of overcoming obstacles.
It's always very inspiring. For one soon-to-be med school grad, getting his degree has been a long road. Living as a refugee for more than 19 years, our Amanda Quintana is here with his journey to become a doctor.
Yes, well, it wasn't easy. It took Manu Habibi multiple tries to get into medical school, finally finding his home here at the UW. But it's the challenges he faced before coming to the U.S. that push him to feel empathy for patients in pain.
Okay, John?
This is where Manu Habibi belongs.
All right, so here we put a tube in.
The UW medical student is graduating this week, matched with the UW's anesthesiology residency.
That's the one good thing about the United States, is that the possibilities are endless. We just have to keep trying.
For a long time, Manu has been trying to find his place in the world. He was born in Afghanistan, but after moving with his parents to Uzbekistan at age 2, he became a refugee.
So they were there while the Taliban invaded Afghanistan, and so they couldn't go back because of that, and because they were labeled as infidels and Soviets.
After 19 years,
and I grew up there. I learned how to speak Russian.
His family was resettled by the United Nations as refugees in the U.S. Manu determined to become a doctor, but at 20 years old, he was already way behind his peers, one of the barriers facing many immigrants.
Mostly by default, they pursue this track of working, going into workforce, and never pursuing any higher education.
He wouldn't be held back by his lack of classes and experience. On top of it all, a completely new language.
I also have sort of an accent sometimes, and everybody knows I'm not from around, and so, yeah, I don't know where I belong. All right.
Still, he put in the work.
Now I'm there. Next week I'm graduating, and it's a great feeling.
So he's one of the best students, hands down, that I've had the opportunity to work with.
Making Madison his home. He's passionate about helping the elderly population with chronic pain.
To be honest, whenever I see an older person, I see my parents in them. And especially if they have pain, they can't. I want to do everything I can to help them.
Remembering the sacrifices his parents made to get him right here where he's meant to be.
I'm hoping that a lot of people will see my story as an inspiration, that it wasn't easy, it was a rough road, but at the end, I was able to achieve it.
He tells me he feels like America is his home now. His family became naturalized citizens while he pursued his bachelor's degree in San Diego. He hopes other immigrants see his success and know they can work towards a higher education as well.
And he'll do his residency here in Madison.
He will stay here, so it really is becoming his home.
You know, all those experiences will just make him a better doctor.
Absolutely.
Manu, congratulations.
Yeah, we'll be lucky to have you here in Madison.
Yes, that's for sure. Amanda, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, some chilly weather here tomorrow. Well, let's get some details on what graduation weekend has in store for us. Your first alert weather with Dana.
By the time we get towards Friday and Saturday, the weather will be much similar to today. Really not too bad outside, but unfortunately we have a really rough patch to get through first before we get the sun back in the forecast. Right now, we are looking at a live look outside the studio. We do have some blue in the sky, some sunshine for this evening. Some areas along the state line seeing just a little more cloud coverage, but most of us actually getting quite a bit of sunshine to wrap up the day. 57 our high for this afternoon. Unfortunately, that is a little bit below average. We should be in the mid-60s. But again, it could be quite a bit cooler. And as we get towards tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be hoping that we are back in the mid to upper 50s. That's just not the case for your Wednesday, though. Right now, our Doppler track is quiet throughout Wisconsin. We aren't expecting anything to develop through the rest of this evening. Our high pressure just off to the northeast has really kept us fairly quiet, sending a little northeast breeze on in. The breeze not too bad, though, for us throughout the rest of the evening. To the south, we have a stationary front that tracks all the way off into the plains and towards the Rockies. A little area of low pressure right now at the southern edge of Colorado is going to just move right along that line. The line's already there. It's going to follow the track just like a road and push a lot of rainfall through the plains and into the northern Midwest for us. So those showers start to develop as we head into Wednesday morning. You'll want to keep the umbrella on hand for your Wednesday because we are expecting moments of pretty heavy rainfall in the afternoon and not really out the chance for some thunderstorms also. By Thursday morning, we still have those showers for us. The center of that low starts to cross very close to the southern edge of the state and moves right on over Wisconsin by Thursday night. Thursday night, we're still cloudy. Heading into your Friday morning, that's when we finally get the sun to slowly come back in. Partly sunny sky by Friday afternoon. As far as our severe weather potential for Wednesday, we do have a marginal risk stretching up into the southern edge of Wisconsin. Our threat there, some strong wind gusts and maybe a severe thunderstorm or two. Most of the severe severe threat, though, is to the south. And by Thursday, as that storm system moves well to the east, the threat for severe weather also shifts over to the east for us. We're not looking at any severe storm chances heading into your Thursday. It's just a concern for maybe later on in the evening tomorrow. Temperatures overnight will fall close to 40. But we aren't going to rise much higher than that in the afternoon. Scattered shower chances and again, a few thunderstorms possible. Afternoon highs are going to stay in the mid-40s for us. Later in the evening, we are expecting that stronger line of storms to come on through. So evening plans may want to be moved inside for your Wednesday. Thursday morning, still scattered showers with a mostly cloudy sky. We won't see as much rain come through on Thursday. Most of this accumulation is coming in for your Wednesday. But by the time the system wraps on up, anywhere from an inch to isolated areas getting an inch and a half around Dane County. Areas to the northwest notice picking up significantly more rainfall. So we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. It's going to be windy, chilly, and very rainy outside. Overnight lows close to 40. Tomorrow barely hitting 45 degrees. And as we look ahead to the next 7 days, Wednesday by far will be the coolest day. We start to creep back into the 50s for Thursday and Friday. And by Saturday and Sunday, temperatures will be back in the 70s. This weekend will bring sunshine, but it's also going to bring a slight shower chance for us. For both days, for both Saturday and Sunday. Right now, we want to take a look at what's going on the roads. Here's a live look at the Beltline at Park Street. Unfortunately, we are seeing stop and go traffic on both the east and westbound sides. Speeds reduced quite a bit. There was a crash there on 14 westbound with the exit to Todd Drive. The right shoulder is blocked right now on the westbound side, but we don't have any lanes blocked. Again, delays both east and westbound. On the eastbound side, those speeds reduced to the teens all the way up until about John Nolan, and then you start getting into the mid-20s. McKee Road, stretching from Seminole Highway towards Verona Road, seeing major delays in downtown Verona. Also seeing a few slowdown spots. Janesville doesn't look too bad. A few of the usual slowdown spots around 26, 39 and 90. Should be a smooth drive for you this evening. 27 minutes to get from Janesville to the Beltline, 17 from Sauk City to Middleton. And our drive southbound from Sun Prairie to downtown's increased just a little bit, about a 19-minute commute for this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
Thank you, Dana.
Still ahead on News 3 Now at 5. Congressional Republicans and Democrats are digging in over the Mueller report. We'll tell you where this fight could go next. Stay with us. The Trump administration is fighting back against investigations by Democrats.
The Trump administration is telling former White House counsel Don McGahn not to comply with a congressional subpoena to testify and turn over documents. White House lawyers say the documents requested remain legally protected from disclosure under long-standing constitutional principles because they implicate significant executive branch confidentiality interests and executive privilege. The Trump administration is also refusing to comply with a separate subpoena to turn over the unredacted Mueller report to Congress.
Every day he's obstructing justice by saying this one shouldn't testify, that one should, and the rest. So he's making a case, but he's just trying to goad us into impeachment.
What we've seen is a meltdown, an absolute meltdown, an inability to accept the bottom line conclusion on Russian interference from the special counsel's report.
Democrats are hoping to hear directly from special counsel Mueller as early as next week. The White House says his report speaks for itself.
And stay with us. We'll have another check of the weather when we return.
Here's a look at some of the stories we are working on tonight. The U.S. and China on the brink as a massive trade deal hangs in the balance, what it means for American workers. Dozens of high school students rally to save a classmate facing a controversial deportation, and a football player's remarkable comeback story. It's all tonight on the CBS Evening News.
You want to get outside and enjoy it today. Big changes tomorrow.
Absolutely. This evening, really nice outside for us right now. We're in the mid to upper 50s with a little bit of sunshine. Tomorrow, it's going to be much cooler outside with showers, some stronger wind gusts. So we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. By Thursday, we still have scattered showers, maybe even a few isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures won't be nearly as cold, though, in the mid 50s for Thursday, upper 50s by Friday, and by Friday, our skies will steadily become partly sunny. We'll stay partly sunny all through the weekend, but we do have a slight chance for showers both Saturday and Sunday. Temperature-wise, will be in the low 60s for both Saturday and Sunday. So if you don't get to enjoy the weather this evening, you're going to have to hold off until Friday evening to get outside.
All right, Dana, thanks. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.